Technology Group. You'll be talking about some personal things, my professional career, and my purpose for being here, what I hope to learn. I was born in Canada in Tofino, British Columbia, which is an island on the west coast of British Columbia. And my father was in the Air Force. We moved around Canada from coast to coast. And my father finally retired from the Air Force, Royal Canadian Air Force, in 1967, where I went to school in Ottawa, Canada, finished high school, did a degree in computer science, and as well was trained in electrical engineering. While I was there, I completed my recent research work on circuit simulation and published some technical papers on that subject, and was recruited by headhunters, or headhunter to come to California, work for a high-tech firm down in Southern California. While I was at university, I met my wife Allison, and we both started our wedded life there, and then moved to the United States. So my professional career really took off at that time by working for Microsim Corporation. Later on, I moved to a startup company for 2 years, and then went to Viewlogic Systems in the Bay Area. And finally, I came to Synopsys at the beginning of this year. Purpose I have for being here is to learn how to be the complete communicator, improve my delivery skills, how to handle content, and interactions with the audience, particularly difficult interactions. Thank you. In our neighborhood, this particular time that we attended the church, it was a church dinner. During the dinner, we all lined up to pick up our...
I'm going to stop you there, Graham. Can you start to hear all these ahs you're just slipping in? In your head, just think about some clear, simple sentences. It's going to seem broken up to you, but to the audience it won't.
Okay. So during the...
I'm going to stop right there. Do we need to start with so?
No.
I'm not saying, ladies and gentlemen, take all the so's and ands out of your vocabulary, because we need them. I just want to bring an awareness up that we don't need to start a sentence with so or and. Go ahead, Graham.
I was lined up to receive my dinner. I had my plate in my hand and picked up the peas and potatoes and so on. Then I came to the end of the line, and the gentleman standing behind the line, who was a old member of the church, ex-Air Force, I think, he was standing there, and he said to me, "You're not having turkey with your meal?" I said, "No, I'm a vegetarian." Well, he stood straight up and pushed his heels together and said, "Well, I'm a Presbyterian."
Okay.
And I thought that was quite a story, and I've remembered it ever since.
I'd like you to continue with another story or this story if there's more to tell, but I'm just going to have my hand go up when I'd like you to pause.
All right.
Anything you'd like to share at this moment?
Yeah, another memorable experience. First time we came to California in 1989.
Pause.
We left Ottawa at 6 a.m.
Pause.
It was really cold out. It was about minus 30 degrees Celsius at the time.
Pause.
We went to the airport, got on the plane, flew to Los Angeles.
Pause.
And when we get off the plane, it was about 65 degrees outside.
Pause.
So it was a temperature change of about 95 degrees. It was a pretty refreshing experience.
Pause.
That's what I have to say.
How is that this time as compared to the first time, making your pauses a little bit more distinct?
It was interesting.
And for the audience?
It was kind of easy.
My wife and I took back in 1991. We to go to someplace exotic, and being Malaysia was in Southeast Asia, and we were living along the Pacific Rim in Orange County area, we wanted to go to a country that was a little bit different. Malaysia used to be run by the British, so people speak English there, and you can drink the local water. The standard of living there is pretty high as well. The other thing is, my wife had billeted a family from Malaysia back in the 60s, and so she had a personal connection with those folks as well. So we took a long flight through Taiwan to get there. It took us about 17 hours. We eventually got to Malaysia, and we rented a car there at the airport. We were about a day later than we were supposed to be, so the car rental agent looked a little tired, since I think he'd been waiting for a full day for us to show up. So we rented the car and proceeded to drive around the country. The thing about driving in Malaysia is they drive on the wrong side of the road, so you sort of have to get used to the fact that people are coming at you on the wrong side. So we spent about 2 weeks driving around the whole country. My wife did do a little bit of driving on the island of Kota Baru. With Kota Baru, there was an issue about people coming around corners and sort of darting in front of you. So my wife actually at one point stopped the car and got out and said, "Look, you drive. This is too nerve-wracking for me." Anything to do with lines on the road was a mere suggestion. Nobody believed it over there.
Thank you.
For bringing me here to talk to you about the Arcadia Strategic Plan. I believe our strategic plan is going to be very important for the future of the Epic Technology Group. The action I want you to take as a result of this presentation today is to approve the plan and approve specific deliverables and dates for that plan. The benefits for that will ensure the future growth of our business, particularly our 40% growth target for next year. We'll also build our strategic relationships we have with our customers. And as well, we'll stop the competition. There are 3 major points to the plan. First point is to rework the core engine, so we have the next generation solution that we need for our customers. The second point for the plan is to leverage the entire Synopsys design flow. We have a lot of business related to other tools at Synopsys, and they all require the data that can come out of Arcadia Extraction. And as I mentioned previously, the third thing to do is to stop the competition. Principally Avante, Simplex, and Mentor. In the time we have this morning, I can only address the issue of the engine rework. The other parts of the plan will be presented separately. The first issue is support for hierarchy in terms of speed and capacity. This is part of our competitive positioning. Our competitors are offering this capability, as well as our top tier 1 customers need the hierarchy to handle capacity issues for their largest designs. We also need to do work in the area of the design database. We need an application programming interface. This helps our tier 1 vendors extract the specific data they need from the designs, eliminates unnecessary file processing, and helps to manage the data complexity. And finally, for additional speed up in processing, we're going to support multi-threading, which is a more convenient way for getting distributed processing using network resources. I feel that this plan is really going to help us achieve our revenue goals for next year. So I need you to, each one of you, to take up a specific part of this action, of the actions to deliver these features, and return to me over the next 2 weeks with your approval and any additional thoughts you have. The benefit will be ensured revenue growth for next year. We continue to build and promote our strategic relationships with our Tier 1 accounts, and will effectively stop the competition. Thank you. That's right. Crucify me.
Any questions?
I've called you here together to explain the strategic plan and bring to you what I think is the importance of the plan to ensure our future business. I want you to sign off on the specifics of the plan, each of the different features that we need to include inside Arcadia for the next 12 to 18 months. This will ensure that we maintain our strategic relationships with our Tier 1 customers, that we can meet our financial goals that have been assigned to us inside the business unit, and as well to stop the competition. Are there any questions?
What makes you so sure that plan's going to be able to stop competition? Up until now, competition's been running all over us.
You're right, Larry. We have been experiencing some setbacks in terms of our positioning in the marketplace. The competition have been able to do two things really well. They've been able to mount an effective marketing campaign, and as well they've been able to bring some technology to market that perhaps we haven't fully addressed. What we have put in place with the strategic plan is a way to bring some new technology that is a real differentiator in the marketplace. Larry and the rest of the marketing team have been really strongly focused on making the product successful. So we've redoubled our marketing efforts, brought more people on board, so we are going to be successful in stopping the competition. Are there any questions?
Can we stop you right there?
It really seems to me that you're basing your whole strategy on acquiring new technology and moving forward, where the base technology that we have is screwed up in the marketplace. Why aren't you looking at fixing the base technology and then move forward from there? Because when you got a crappy base, we're not going to be able to make anything out of it.
When you say we have crappy technology, what are you specifically thinking about?
Do I need to say more?
GX is crappy technology because?
Because it doesn't work.
Answer.
No,
He's doing some clarification up front.
I don't want to project an answer when I'm not answering your question, so I have to find out what your question is. You say we got crappy technology. Well, what's crappy? I mean, I've got 5 different things in the back of my mind that says we have great technology. I mean, we've got the #1 microprocessors company in the world, the #1 IC company in the world. All their success is done using our extraction technology. They don't think it's crappy technology. They're experiencing making billions of dollars
I'm
because
just trying to come up with a hostile question.
Right, but I've got stuff in the back of my mind, so I was just trying to communicate with you about what do you think was.
Well, give me a piece of your product that's crappy, so I'll throw it out.
So you're saying, well, let me pretend you said we have real problems delivering GX and having a GX interface.
Which is
The GX interface is stalled.
Yes, sir. The GX interface, it's stalled, the marketplace isn't accepting it, sales can't move it, and there's no rapid roadmap to fix it.
There's no.
Roadmap.
We haven't done a good job of delivering what we're doing with GX to make it work better. Over the past few months, we've had some difficulties with getting GX to work smoothly in some kinds of flows. We have been successful with GX in digital CMOS, which is which really works well with the ASIC business, which is also where our competition, Simplex, is as well. For the custom analog kinds of flows, GX doesn't work really well. What we have to do is continue to work on an interface with a few select partners to understand how we can improve the LVS technology. We have to conquer this problem if we want our Cedar LVS DRC solution to really be successful itself in the marketplace. So the challenge we have with GX is the challenge we're going to have to meet.
I'm going to stop you there just for a second. Graham, you're doing great. You took about 4 steps backward there. Just want to be aware of that.
Okay. So the challenge we have to meet with Cedar, we're going to have to solve first with GX. The problem's not going to go away.
Joe, do you feel like you got enough of an answer?
Yeah, I think when he acknowledges it, and then when you turn it, it's sort of the same feeling Nitin had, when you turn away to make some supporting points, to show that you have technology moving forward. If he would stay and give a little bit of that to me and then turn away.
Okay.
That was just my feeling. Because
So
it just felt like
so-
you just acknowledged me.
So
and
what can
you're giving
I
answers.
see in Joe's face that tells me he got enough?
You're
That he
not
got a
gonna-
cookie?
You're not going to see it all the time, Graham. Some people will nod their head though, that they have gotten it. You can stay there and give that a shot. Try a little longer. But a lot of people aren't going to give you a physical clue. The whole idea of what you're trying to do here, the overall goal is to maintain a hold of this presentation group. You don't want to lose control here. It's key. You got to give them a good solid part of the answer. As Larry brought up, it's definitely acknowledge, get part of that answer. Let him get part of the beef that you want to give him. And then roll on out. And don't worry about it.
Okay.
I found myself nodding my head because you were acknowledging. But then when you turned away to talk about where you were going with it, it's like, well, that's what I want to hear, which is where it's working, right? So you acknowledged me and I was going, But you turned away from me for that part of the beef of the answer. That was just my, I know.
Remember in this hostile situation, out of all your experiences, how many times have you had a hostile situation, what, 1 or 2 people?
Typically just one.
Yeah, typically 1, right? This is handling that 1 person. So, that's all we got to do this with.
And I want to talk about what I learned from the Decker session for the last couple of days. I think I learned that I need to incorporate my natural enthusiasm, my humor, as a part of the presentation skills. Learned how to sort of stand, present myself, engage in eye contact with everyone. So when I communicate directly to a face, to a person, so something meaningful occurs, and it's not just something going on up in my head. I think I'll be able to practice those kinds of things in sales situations, customer situations where we go out and meet people. I'll be able to practice those things that I've learned. Things like gesturing, moving around the room, and pausing for dramatic effect. Can I sit down?
No, wait, sit there. We're not done.
What?
Feedback, class, natural style.
Oh, okay.
It comes across as effective for Graham, his natural self.
It's very clear. I always know what he's talking about, what he means. Very clear.
A lot of natural humor.
Yeah, he establishes contact with individuals. Walking up closer.
He's not overpowering.
Yeah,
Very
non-threatening.